Back now. We're still talking about Coyote versus Acme. Um, yeah, so Warner Brothers sold it to Catch Up Entertainment for 50 million.
Hmm.
They got their $30 million write-off for last year.
So they made
So
$80 million on a they made $80 million on a movie.
it's probably more than they probably would have made it at the box office,
Right.
probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Maybe. I don't know. I think kids would want to go see Coyote versus Acme. They want to go see Chip and Dale, which
hmm
is an amazing movie. Have you seen the Chip and Dale movie?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
love that
absolutely.
movie.
I just don't. I'm just interested in the fact that they could do the tax write off and then sell it. I just don't understand how you could do that.
Man, there's a lot of things in this world we just find out you can do that we didn't know you could do. We find out there's something new you can do in this country every day
We
that we
do.
didn't know that you could do before.
We
Because
do.
we all assumed all these assumptions.
I just,
Yeah.
I need those type of advantages in my life. That's it. That's
They're there. You just gotta learn how to take
you
them.
gotta look. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Most people are scared to take any advantage of anything because they're scared to break the law, so they do nothing.
Yeah, so but I do want to see the movie. I think it's got the potential to be great. I do. It's a
You
very
know,
entertaining premise.
you know.
And I'm glad
Like
that they're going to release it
we'll
2026.
we'll find out. We find out that, you can have a property, write it off on taxes, 120 days later, you can sell it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
that may be the law.
right. It's beautiful. If you can get away with it.
It makes me say, dang, why didn't I know about that earlier?
Exactly.
But the Coyote versus Acme.
Carlson is more like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, more
Yeah, Super and
adult than
Roger
for
Rabbit.
kids.
Okay. Well, that's even better.
I won't
Kids will watch it
necessarily say
though.
adult, but not more for kids.
I I am quite excited about it.
Yeah,
Whatever it's for, whoever it's for,
I
is
want to see it.
it is Coyote versus Acme, and it has Will Forte in it, John Cena in it, Lana Kendor in it, Tone Bell star in the movie, which follows Wile E. Coyote, who after Acme products failed him one too many times, he's dodged the pursuit of the
Gonna sue him?
Roadrunner, decides to hire a billboard lawyer to sue the Acme Corporation.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I don't, do your thing, man. Do your thing. I'm not mad at him.
He should sue him.
Sue them because they
Sue
failing them.
him.
They're incompetent and they're wasting his time.
And
Absolutely.
all his money
Yep.
and got him hurt
Absolutely.
too many times.
Yep. Yep. Then they want to deny his insurance benefits and stuff and claims. Yeah. Sue them. I'm with that.
Right.
That's probably why Zafflov didn't want it released. The people start suing Warner Brothers.
For all the
It's
bullshit they're doing.
yeah, it triggers something. He was probably triggered by it. I was like, uh-oh.
Probably. Probably. The Coyote deal by Ketchup marks a significant and record outlay for the company, whose previous release had included Michael Keaton starred Goodrich, a comic book reboot, Hellboy, The Crooked Man, Ben Affleck thriller Hypnotic, Michael Franco's Jessica Chastain's drama Memory. Ketchup last year rescued the same studios the day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tune movie.
Okay. Well, sounds
Now
like
we
they
need
got a good
somebody to
track
come
record.
in and save Sesame Street
I hope somebody does.
and PBS.
Yeah. I hope
Somebody needs to say Sesame Street and PBS.
I hope somebody saves it. It'd be crazy in the world without Sesame Street.
It's about to happen.
Sesame Street has literally been around my whole even before I was born. It's crazy to imagine there's a world without Sesame Street.
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to live in a world without Sesame Street.
It's about to happen.
They got rid of Reading Rainbow and then we get rid of Sesame Street. Are you out of your
Yep.
mind?
They got rid of Mr. Rogers. They got rid of a lot
Yeah.
of things. They got most of our childhood is gone, Randy. It'll never happen again. It's gone.
Well,
You're old. Person.
it's a lot of reboots from our childhood, which I'm not actually in favor of.
I'm against it all the time.
But Sesame Street's not a reboot. Sesame Street is just,
It's ongoing.
You know, it's
Hmm.
an ongoing show. So I'm in support of the continuation, the perpetuation of Sesame Street.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, besides our government cutting PBS because it's making kids too woke, and Warner Brothers not doing anything with Sesame Street,
Sad.
it may not happen again. I think Disney should buy Sesame Street.
That would be amazing. I mean, they already got the Jim Henson Studios.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it would be
They
a
should
lot
buy
of
the rights to
opportunity.
it.
And it
They
wouldn't
had the
cost that.
Muppets too, and they had the Muppets.
Yeah,
And it'd be
right.
nice to have a Muppets meet Sesame Street reunion.
Absolutely. And
Hmm.
it's not expensive to
And they
produce.
should buy Pee Wee Herman and make a new Pee Wee Herman movie.
Well, that's reboots. We just talked about we don't necessarily want.
No, it don't have to be Pee Wee. It could be something in that same vein. Something in that same vein.
Okay.
A character in that same vein.
But I definitely think Disney should buy Sesame Street, and it wouldn't cost
They
a lot.
should.
The production value for Sesame Street isn't
But they
that.
have to do the live action, something that nobody cares to see. That's what Disney has to do. They got to make a live action version of something nobody cares about.
Oh, I thought you want. I thought you cared about it.
No, I
So
don't. I hate
what?
all live actions. I hate remakes. Period. I
I
don't think they
thought
should
you were
remake
giving me
anything.
smoke last week
I don't.
about
I'd
liking it.
rather for them to have something in the universe that is completely original than a remake of anything. I hate
Mm.
remakes, remix, and anything with re in the front of it, including Rihanna.
Uh, the what? I don't know what her people are called, but that was him. It was not me.
She
So
don't have people now. She don't have people now.
sit all
Jay-Z
your
got
smoke,
Beyonce got rid of all those people.
sit all your smoke and hate to Chuck, not me. I did not say that.
Uh-huh. She don't have people now. She don't have PM people now. Now. But no, I think that we should you can be in that universe. I have no problem being in that universe. I just have a problem with them making remakes.
I don't want to see remakes either. I'm completely over it. Well,
Hmm.
let me put it like this. It's not that I don't necessarily. I don't like contemporary remakes where you try to take old properties in different times and try to make the stories contemporary, and it just never works for me because those stories weren't meant to be told in a different time frame.
Huh?
Yeah, like
Confused.
I hate when you take
Mhm.
things that were made in the 50s and you try to make it updated to fit 2025 with archetypes and things from 2025 because that's what they did with Snow White. Like the prince was like a homeless
They
guy.
did it with Beauty and the Beast, all of them.
I literally just said it. I didn't like
Hmm.
it,
Okay.
and then you
So you
said,
didn't like
"Huh?"
Like Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio?
I did like that,
Okay, see?
but that's the
See?
yeah, that's the original language. They didn't change. They didn't change the story to fit. They just put it like in a setting. It's the same
It did.
story.
Yeah, it's the same
It's the same
story.
story.
The same
It's the
story.
same language, the same dialogue, all those things.
That's true. They did do that.
You know, they didn't make it to try to fit like Romeo is like Romeo's like a thug now. Well, he was, but whatever. They didn't change the story. The
He was
story
a
is the same.
thug.
But he's a thug in the original. The story is the same.
I thought it was her family was the thug family, thuggish family.
They were both alike in dignity. Two households in Fair Verona where we lay our scene. They were both.
Okay. I need you to quote some Afrocentric folklore like that.
Man, I went to public
Wow.
school. I went to public school.
Oh Lord. But no, Wile E. Coyote. So we had this movie coming. I'm quite excited about it.
I am too.
Um, I love live action and animation combined. I love it. I love it. And Disney crushed it when they brought Ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic was the star of Chip and Dale.
Yeah, it was. It was dope. It was dope. Chip and Dale was dope. So let's see if Warner Brothers can. Let's see if and you know I'm a Warner Brothers person, so let's see if they can make a good movie.
Okay. The next title of the next article seems kind of wild. Movie studios are being financially rewarded for AI slop on YouTube. Some Hollywood studios are reportedly earning money from fake AI generated movie trailers on YouTube
It's crazy.
against the wishes of the union representing actors. According to the reports from Deadline, Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount, and Sony Pictures redirected and revenue to themselves instead of enforcing copyright protections and shutting down the popular screen culture in KH Studio trailer accounts. In response, the SAG-AFTRA union has criticized the studios for profiting off videos that use AI to exploit their members' likeness without permission.
So they're supporting these fake trailers to get paid and just
Yes,
not paying the
sir.
actors.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
this was the plan. This was the plan all along. And that's why the strike was happening. They wanted to
Hmm.
take likeness from extras. Like, let's say you're coming up in a movie and you're an extra, but then you become a movie star. They wanted to take your likeness and then put it in a new movie without paying you anything. This was the plan.
Hmm. This was the plan, Johnny
Yeah.
Randolph.
Yeah. And it's going to get worse. And I am completely against it.
Yeah. And then I say when the strikes was over, I said the negotiations are not done because we have no idea where this stuff is taking us.
Yeah.
Businessmen are going to be as crooked as they possibly can to get as much money as they possibly
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
And we
So
know
they're
that. We know how this works.
so they're
And
literally accepting fake trailers to profit from it, so not to pay actors. Boy, that's foul. That's
foul,
so foul.
foul.
I hate them.
They don't care what you hate. They're making money.
I hate them. I
So,
literally do.
so, so, Screen Crushing them make the AI trailers. The trailers are usually pretty good. They're funny to
They're
watch
decent.
and stuff. Sometimes they're for movies that don't exist, but it
Yep.
draws back to the original properties, and they're making the money off of it.
Yeah.
And instead of going after those companies and telling them, look, you cannot use the likeness of our actors, they're like, that's not our job.
Yep.
It's your job to hire a lawyer to go chase that for you.
Yep.
We don't care.
But all they had to do was just do the right thing. All they had to do was do the right thing. And it was
in,
like,
in their
no.
mind, they did the right thing. You won't let us use AI? We're not going to tell people to cease and desist in doing it.
So now I've got to hot just to do the right thing. It's not hard to do the right
Now
thing.
you spend out those millions of dollars I give you on some lawyers to do the right thing.
This is terrible.
We knew this was coming. We knew this was
It,
coming.
it is. We knew it was, but
Digital doubles, likenesses. There's
yep.
still so many unresolved issues. We have yet to address the consciousness issue that's going to come up soon. What happens when AI can embody the consciousness of somebody, where you can tell the AI to act like Denzel, and then it's taken every Denzel moment ever
Yeah.
produced, every interview, and made a false version of Denzel.
Yep.
It don't have to look like Denzel. It can
Oh,
look like it can look like John Franco. It can look like John Cena, and it
yep.
acts like Denzel.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? Oh, that's Denzel trapped in that body.
Be like, yep.
Prove it.
Be like,
Prove it.
get your hands off me. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
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 We ain't even done. The man, there's so much chasing it. There's so much uh, like nerdy entrepreneur. Nobody chasing that. She's right. Nobody chasing it. Nobody. Why would they chase it? This is hard stuff. And nobody in Hollywood has the brain capacity to understand where this thing can go. They're all actors and they make plays. They're not scientists sitting in the
Right.
lab that trying to become billionaires. There's some 20-year-old kid right now trying to become a billionaire because they see what Mark Zuckerberg did, and they're like, I want that 200 foot, I want that 200 yard yacht too,
I
as the small yacht, as my small yacht.
and I get that. I just feel like the studio should play more of a role in shutting this down.
Why? It's
I
not
just
my issue.
feel like they should. It is their
Why?
intellectual
Why should I?
property.
It's not my issue. They're not taking my property. They're making fake AI trailers on a fake movie that doesn't exist, or they're remaking a trailer on it.
Does
That
it?
means we have to go after people that review film. That means we have to go after people that review TV shows.
Yeah.
But if we go after them, that means nobody's doing reviews. Binge-worthy's dead.
You're just not making using somebody's likeness.
No, they'll expand this out to cover everything. We do not want to be the
So
ones on
it's
the hook for
okay.
all
So you think
this.
it's okay to make fake trailers with the likeness of people and just be
Of
and
course
okay.
not. Of course not.
So
Of
what are you
course
saying?
not. Of course not. But I understand what the studios are saying. I don't think it's okay. I understand what they're saying.
I don't. I'm against it.
No. That's like if some kid made a video of what would happen if Jordan versus LeBron 1-on-1 and it got a million hits, right? And it's just a video. And say they look just like NBA Jam characters. Should that kid be sued by the sued by the NBA?
Yes. Shut it down.
Why? Why?
Down.
Why?
Shut it down.
Why? Why should he be sued? If somebody says, make me a highlight reel of LeBron and make me a highlight reel of Jordan, combine them and show them how they're similar,
So we
should the
just
NBA
so
come
you
in?
just okay with all this.
No, I'm saying there has to be a limit. You have to figure out where the limit is.
You
Because if
know.
that's the case, they're going to shut down everything. They're going to take the very Nintendo approach. Nintendo says you cannot review our games online unless you pay us and get our permission to do so. That means a game comes out
And
and you as a
again,
reviewer can't
I
review
don't
it.
have all the answers or any of the answers. I just don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have the answer yet neither.
You know.
But I know I don't want an overbearing result because of this. Where you have people like Centel, Rakai, the Gigish Network. We can't review anything because we're using the likeness of somebody. And that's where it's going to go.
And I get that. I
That's where it's going to go.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of you can just create a fake trailer and then the artists don't get paid for it.
Then they should set up contracting where artists get paid from that and employ the streaming services to create
Right,
tools
that's what I'm
to make sure
saying.
the artists get paid.
I'm mad at the studios.
The studios are like, we have nothing to do with that. That
Yeah,
is the streaming platform.
you
We don't
know.
even see those numbers. What do we have? We watch YouTube just like y'all do. We can't keep an eye on contact on
But the
1 billion
studios are
videos.
financially benefiting from it. That's the whole title. They're
Yes,
financially
they're
benefiting from
benefiting because people see the fake trailer, then go to the website and watch the real video.
it, you know.
It's like you see the fake trailer for Solo Leveling that some kid made about how dope it is, and then you go watch Solo Leveling. So whose
So,
fault is that?
so we just okay with so we just okay out here
Man,
with
it's the same thing as you watch a review or review a video of a movie and then going to watch it. There's a lot of things here. There's a lot of components here. We're not okay with it, but we have to think about how to handle this. What you're thinking about is big corporations are not paying little actors.
yes,
And the big corporation you're pointing at is not the one that's actually allowing this to happen.
you know.
It is the platforms allowing it to
I
happen.
agree. I agree.
So we have to figure a way to how the platforms are accountable for this without destroying the content that's being made. Because the last thing I would want to do is that we have to kill binge worthy because we're promoting a property that we're not paying for,
And I get that. I
expressing
do.
that we like something that we're not paying for.
And I get that.
And that scares me.
I just feel like I don't know.
What?
I don't have
What?
the I don't have the don't what me.
But you're
Don't
rushing
don't
into a conclusion. You're
don't get
rushing to
don't get aggressive with me.
what? What?
Don't get
What?
aggressive with me.
What?
Don't get
You
aggressive
rushing,
with me.
you always
Yeah,
rushing to conclusions. You
yeah.
got to
Don't get
think about
aggressive
this
with
from
me.
other
I
perspectives.
I ain't your friends, boy. Boy. Don't have me raise up on
Like I
here.
said,
Don't
what?
have me raise up on here. I,
Like I said, what?
I just said,
We have to think about the perspective of this. And it's not just the film studios that are responsible for it. It's everybody.
you know.
You know, there's some
Again,
kid right now making a dope ass Lego trailer for Thunderbolts, and that trailer is gonna draw people to go watch Thunderbolts. That kid should not be on the hook to pay these actors, nor should the studio be on the hook to pay these actors. We have to figure out how do we pay the actors. Their likeness in Lego is their likeness in Lego.
so the streamer should pay it.
But if he's not making any money, so he should take his $500 and give it to all the actors that are in this movie who demand $10,000 or
But
less
I've
because
said I
that's
don't have the answers. I just don't like it.
like Mark
No,
said, you ain't been doing the
I just said
research.
I know I saw what he said,
You
and I
ain't
haven't
got
been
the
doing the
answers,
research.
Randy. You ain't got the answers. That's what I'm saying, Randy. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Thank you,
Don't
Mark.
like it. I don't care what y'all say.
He oversimplifies it like this is really big and we need to figure this out. Cause I do want people to be able to express how they feel about something. I do like fan fiction. If we didn't have fan fiction, we would never have the story of the song in of Fire and Ice.
How you
We
figure?
wouldn't we wouldn't had a lot of Star Wars stories if it wasn't for fanfic.
How you figure we would have the songs of Fire and Ice if we didn't have fanfic?
Because he started up as fan fiction. He started up as fan fiction. All this stuff actually cascades on top of each other
I
because
mean,
what we
stuff is
because we're in a
inspired.
very litigious country
Stuff is
that people will
inspired by.
find ways for everything.
Sit how, Randy.
How, Randy? How?
I got the answer. No, we will not talk about that, gentlemen. All right, all right. I think we
So
belabored this
that's just
story
that's
enough.
just it. That's all I'm saying. Uh, I want to protect the Geekish Network as much as I possibly can.
I want to protect the Geekish
And I
Network
know,
too.
and I know this would actually impact us if
You
we
know,
help the studios, because the studios will come down on us and be like, all y'all got to give up all your streaming dollars and give it to us so we can give it to the actors.
I hear you.
And I don't want that
I
neither.
don't want that either.
So we
I
have
like
to figure
driving
that.
my Maybach from the Geekish Network.
Speaking of that, of AI stuff, the AI Studio Ghibli images are now producing fake legal letters to get with their fake art. So Ghibli Images is like, yo, hold on. Y'all using Miyazaki's art style, which nobody can really own an art style, which is really weird to me. But they're throwing out cease and desist letters out to people. Like, look, don't draw yourself in our art style.
Yeah, how can you copy? You can't copyright an art style, can you?
Well, Randy, this is part of it. This is what we're talking about.
Because like even
Why
and I'm
can't
just
you?
I'm putting it in music. I'm putting it in terms of music. When whatchamacallit tried to sue, was it the Marvin Gaye state tried to sue
Yes.
T.I. and what's his name?
Yes. Alan
Alan,
Thicke's son.
yeah,
Yeah.
Alan Thicke, yeah, Robin
Robin
Thicke,
Thicke. Yes.
because they were saying the chords or the likeness, and the chorus was like, nah, you can't own chords and a style.
Yes. And but they had a bad lawyer. They didn't have a building full of lawyers. That's why they lost that battle, Randy. Because there's been other artists to win that battle. They didn't have Marvin Gaye's family. It works out of a one-room shack in fucking Kentucky, and they're going against a whole building of people over here in Santa Monica.
I guess Nerdy Entrepreneur said you can copyright a style. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How can you copyright a style then?
Just say this is mine.
Like I get like fonts, things like that, because you can do that.
You can copyright them. This is my art style. You know.
hmm.
And so Ghibli is
Well,
saying,
I
look,
I guess what they're doing though too is they know the AI was trained on the
on
Ghibli
their art.
art. So they're saying the whole reason why you're even able to do this is you stole our artwork and copied our artwork. You
I
know,
think once you put stuff on the
so
internet, it turns public domain.
but they're training the AI to do it.
Then
That's
you
what
need to
they're
sue.
saying.
You need to
They
sue Chat
say ChatGPT,
GPT.
yeah,
And
open AI, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you need to sue
Not
writers
the
are
OpenAI.
complaining about that too because they're taking like old books of authors and writing it in the style of an author. So
Yeah.
there's been lawsuits out there about that. That one's going to be tough to win because, and the only reason I think it's going to be tough to win is because, to your point earlier, Chuck, everything is kind of built on each other.
Yeah.
So, like in schools, you give students books to read as frames of reference, as styles, those types of things. The AI is kind of doing the same thing, but just duplicating it in that style.
Hmm. So you're saying that like a should we sue Andy Warhol for everything?
Right.
He basically
Or
stole pop art.
yeah. Or it'd almost be like into me, like it'd be like suing Kobe because he took Jordan style. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Like how are you gonna do that?
Yes. You know?
Yeah. That was
That's like saying that Steph Curry should be able to his form, he should be
right.
able to copyright it, and every player that shoots with his form
Right.
should be forced to pay him money.
Yeah. Right.
It's interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Yes, AI is very dangerous. It copies everything,
Yeah.
but it's not just copying Ghibli style of art. It's copying other artists that draw in the Ghibli style.
Hmm.
And
And they can
so,
do that because
where
you
does it
can.
start? The
Yeah.
eyes come from a Ghibli. They take Ghibli eyes, but they take the fur from like a Pixar artist who likes drawing in Ghibli style
But artists do that. Some artists do that
all the
now.
time, all the
Yeah.
time. Now, I think
I think the
Ghibli
problem
does have.
is AI can just mass produce it, like, in seconds and things like that. But artists do that all the time. Yeah.
Oh, the funk came in and said Ghibli nor G Kids have issued any statements one way or another. One of the AI people is C&Ding himself to play victim.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. See,
but
that
this
makes sense then. That makes sense then. Because, yeah, it's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to prove.
fake legal letters to go with their fake art. Oh, they're saying that Ghibli's coming after me, so y'all should support my art. Man, we live in a wild world. We are not ready for this much freedom. Humans are not built for this much freedom.
Well, I think kind of the problem is we've lived in such a litigious system and so much copyright and all of these things for so long. And I think
Hmm.
like the new technology, the systems aren't built to interpret this technology.
Thank you, nerdy entrepreneur. Artists still just go to any artist album.
Yeah,
True,
absolutely.
true, true.
Yeah,
If you're not dealing,
yeah, all the time,
yeah, it's true.
all the
I'll tell
time.
everybody, you go to Anime Expo, there's so much go to the fan art search section. That's all you
Yeah,
got to
I
do.
always wondered about that too because yeah, like WonderCon was just this weekend, and I
Yes.
mean I didn't.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we
all the
missed
time.
it. Me and Chuck missed it. But if I were to go, I was gonna go buy some more art. And
Hmm.
a lot of this stuff is IP stuff. It's Wolverine, I got a bunch of like Wolverine stuff drawn by my favorite artists, all that stuff, right? But
Yeah,
like, they're not paying
Marvel.
Marvel for that,
No.
right?
No,
So there's a lot of
absolutely not.
stuff. And then, and then when they, what's that saying? It's like, I'm totally paraphrasing. It's like, um, uh, mediocre artists copy, great artists steal,
Yeah,
right? So it's like,
yeah.
and that's and it's really interesting because I'm started taking a class again, and this kind of came up was this it was a novel writing class, and one of my co-students submitted a manuscript, and then somebody caught it because basically it was like she basically copied Jane Eyre, like almost word for word, and played it off as her own.
Wow.
She played it off as her own. So the teacher kind of brought it to the class's attention, and it was like she was basically making a point. It was like, yeah, you can do stuff, because there's plenty of stuff that is like homage to, inspired by, right? Like a retelling of, Huck Finn, stuff like that, right? Like, there's a plenty of stuff like that, but you have to like be upfront about it. But like to actually just copy it straight up,
Yeah,
That's plagiarism.
That's plagiarism.
but see, then that goes to like the open AI question. That is what they're doing. They're copying it directly, so that it is a high tech form of plagiarism, and then it's enabling their engine and their model to replicate these things. Like, I mean, there's models out there that can copy your voice. There's enough audio of the two of you out there, because we've been doing the streams for a while, that the AI could create a Chuck Babb voice. I just type
I'm
in
pretty sure.
words. Yeah.
And the AI can write in a style of an author. I've had things where I said, write it in F. Scott Fitzgerald style. And I'll put the prompt in and it'll write it in that style. So the AI can do that. I still think you have more latitude with that, because you're not just recreating or duplicating the work. The work is inspired by the style. And artists do that all the time. We literally teach styles based off of previous novels. You take a creative writing class, they're going to read the classics. They're going to read Fitzgerald. They're going to read all those.
There's plenty of stuff. Yeah.
But it has to go in the public domain to use it.
But part of it too, though, is just from an artist standpoint, like using that example too in class. It was she literally, and it was interesting because she put it, and I've never read Jane Eyre, so I didn't catch it, but then she put the passages side by side, and it was almost word for word.
Wow.
I think that's plagiarism.
That's what I'm saying.
plagiarism,
It was almost word for word, and I was just like, yo, that's crazy. That's
You get kicked out of college. You get kicked out of college for shit like
They
that.
should have kicked her out of the class.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Yeah.
And I understand that's the world we're going to start living in, where people are, first of all, people aren't as creative as they were 30 years ago, because we have too many things distracting our attention already and taking our attention.
There's no
so people aren't
seminal
just
works
making up
now,
shit. Yeah.
right? I mean, that's there's one thing is like when I really did take my first journey down that road, it's like you learn that there's no seminal works, right? It's everything is derivative of something else.
Yeah.
It's like it's been told before, so it's just like it's just how you put your own spin on it, how you do, it's okay, you can tell this with a different spin. It's like, I mean, that's why, like, with like everybody's like giving Avatar a hard time because it's a derivative. It's basically like Pocahontas, but it's like, well, he put his own spin on it, which is like it's aliens, and it's it's like this. So it is derivative, but it's also like, but everything is like everything's derivative of something. Is like there's no again, no seminal works now. Right?
Yeah. Totally agree with that. There are no seminal works.
Right.
It's like
Everything is.
Everything's always been a derivative of something else. There's no truly original story.
Right. Yeah, and like a lot of this, I mean, they're talking about Disney,
and we wouldn't
and
accept those as stories. We wouldn't accept them.
But like, I know we talked about Snow White earlier, but like, yeah, Disney, that was that's a fairy tale. Disney took that and made that into an animated film. You know what I mean? Tolkien, a lot of his stories, like they were Norse. These were Norse gods. Like Norse stories. They're like, it's like, a lot of it's like close to Beowulf. A lot of it's, a lot of like
Star Wars is derivative.
Yeah, Star Wars
is relative.
Star Wars is basically Akira Kurosawa. He basically,
Even George R. R. Martin says my work is derivative of other work.
Yeah. I think that's why he
He's derivative of
did.
Tolkien. He's
But then,
telling
yeah,
you
and then
Tolkien was his inspiration.
It was fan fiction.
But then that's what Mark said. He but like how tropes work. The '90s had like 20 versions of Pygmalion, and then going back to George R. R. Martin when he did Game of Thrones, he was like, I'm gonna go against the tropes. So that's why he did the shocking thing, right?
Yeah.
The main character dies like
In the first season.
Yeah, the first season.
Beautiful.
Like
Beautiful.
yeah. So he was like always about the anti tropes, which is good, and that's a big reason why he's so popular, because it was against the tropes. But tropes are there because they are. It's like it's there's so many messianic stories, so many Messiah stories. There's so many things, but it's just how you do it. But this AI thing, I don't know. It's always weird because like there's some AI that like we use to run the network because I just edited a bunch of podcasts and it was just easier to fix some of the audio through the tools there than to struggle for hours trying to get it right. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and that's what it should be. I think AI should be to make our lives easier, not to profit off of somebody else's work. I don't know if that makes sense, but it should like I want AI to like do my dishes. or those kinds of things. Not yeah. Anyways, it's such a fascinating concept and interesting because this is the world we live in, and it's like we're gonna have to face it, and we're gonna be facing it. Different ways, for years.
I tell everybody. I just saw the film. Rakai recommended it for me. It was The Player. He said, "Have you seen The Player?" I was like, "No." He said with Tim Robbins. He's the star in it. And I was like, "I have never seen The Player." Came out in 1992.
I seen it,
and it's because I'm talking about the studio.
Yeah,
I was like, "Yo, the studio is brilliant."
Studio is good. By the way, I found out Earl's in the studio.
Is he in the studio?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure yet what episode, but the 2 episodes I've seen so far, he's not in it. But
I only seen the first episode. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, he's not in the second. The second episode, bro, is gonna like you're gonna
blow my mind.
Well, you're gonna want to like punch somebody. It is so.
Oh, Wilson's in it.
It is
don't yeah.
It's so good. It is so good. But yeah, The Player is basically a parody of the studio system, and then in a lot of people's reviews of the studio, the new TV show, Seth Rogen's TV show, people are referencing The Player, because I do remember The Player. Tim Robbins, long ass time ago, 92, and it's just a parody about like how Hollywood is, and then also people are like bringing up like Entourage, because it's like the studio is very much like Entourage, where it's like real life,
just like Entourage,
and have real life like people like Martin Scorsese's in the first episode.
Oh man, that's such a good episode.
So
I got
Charlize Theron.
I will tell you this much, man, and I'm glad you brought it up, because man, Apple Plus, their money is on screen, man. Like they spend so much money, and you see it on the screen. Like
you do see it.
Some of these other things, like Amazon, like the Citadel, like you see they spend all this money, and you're like, why they spend all this? Or like some of these Marvel shows, and like spend all this money, and like you don't see it on the screen. Apple shows, almost every single Apple show I've watched, you can see where they spent the money. Like it shows on the screen, man.
They're the closest thing we've had to classic HBO.
It's so well done. They're just so well done.
I don't know how long everything's to do it, because they're losing $1 billion a year.
But that's like nothing to
them. They
don't
care. $2 trillion company. They don't care. They put money into a car program. They spent a whole decade.
You all say they don't care.
They spent the whole decade making a fake car.
They don't care.
They have
spent
so
the whole
much
decade
money
making a fake car.
That's what
Yeah.
you all
They
say.
have spent the last 2 decades making a flip phone, Randy.
That's what you all say. Like
I don't
they
think
got enough
I
I
money.
mean, I
That's
think
I
they
what
don't think
you
care.
Tim
all
Apple
say.
cares.
I think they care to a certain extent,
Exactly.
but I do
Y'all be
think,
like, y'all out here
yeah,
spending other people's money.
yeah.
They got the money. They should keep on
Hey,
doing it
it's
that
their
way.
money, man. I'm not like I.
They
Yeah.
seem to have no problem spending the money.
Hey,
They
I paid into that ecosystem. I got an iPhone now.
Hey Randy,
I paid my
Randy, hey
iPhone
Randy.
tax.
They built the building in the shape of a of a UFO with a rainbow in the front of it, and nobody goes to that office. They
Oh,
shoot. They
they're building a thing right by you, Chuck.
Yeah, they have it right down the street from me, right there.
Yeah,
It's
they're
the
gonna
it's app. It's the head of
Apple
Apple
Studios.
Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah, Apple
they're
Studios,
gonna
right
build
down the
like
street,
they're
right
gonna
down the
build like
street.
more. Like they're
They're
building
building
more.
more.
Yeah.
They bought the street, Randy. The only thing they haven't bought is Helm's Bakery, is because the owners of Helm's Bakery won't sell it to them. Apple has
That'd
offered
be
billions of dollars
that'd
for
be
that
funny.
land
That'd be funny if like they build around it.
to build around it.
It's like
That's probably what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna build around it.
it's like that one famous one where like somebody didn't sell it because they were building a
They
highway
built it around
and
it.
they
Yeah.
built around the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Trump. It was Trump, wasn't it? Trump
No,
did
it's somewhere in like
that.
China. I think it was like China or Japan. One
Like,
of
there's
those.
a property where he did something like that a long time ago. Like they wouldn't sell certain properties, so he just built around it, and he ended up having to sell it because of the traffic and congestion and stuff like that. Drove
Man,
away.
It's so
they,
crazy.
yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
No, but
I mean,
Apple Plus. Yeah, they got a fan. I'm a fan. Just everything I've watched, almost everything I watch of theirs, I really like, and
worth every penny.
And they really do have high production value, man.
I said, God forbid Apple decides to try to buy Netflix. Like, man, fuck it, let's buy Netflix.
Well,
They could
there
do it.
were talks of that at one point in time, and that's why before Apple Plus, and that's
Yeah,
kind of why they started
Apple Plus.
Apple Plus.
Because Apple Plus has the best production value than any studio out there. I mean, Amazon doesn't even have that production value. And Amazon writes $500 million checks to its creators. That's crazy to me. Like Donald
It's
Glover has
interesting
yet to do a
too.
product.
Yeah, I was
You say
just
he hasn't?
yeah.
He
Listen,
hasn't done a product on,
Who's that
Not on
too?
Amazon. Not on Amazon.
well, he did
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
and
and
Mrs.
Mrs. Smith was
Smith.
on
Well,
Amazon,
yeah. So
and then I
he did
thought the
one.
other one he did was on
The
Amazon.
Swarm is not on Amazon. It's on Hulu. It was before. It was before the deal.
Okay, okay, but yeah,
And
Mr. and
Guava
Mrs. Smith.
Island. They based the deal off of Guava
Well,
Island.
they
His
got
song.
rid of Jennifer Salke. She, the head of Amazon Studios. They got rid of her.
Yeah, they got rid of her. Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
So speaking of like, yeah, they spent a lot of money on stuff that like it just didn't, like the whole Citadel thing. That is just laughable to me.
It is. They got
Yeah.
the Russo brothers all that money
They
to
have
do what? To do
Yeah.
what? I mean, Netflix gave the Russo brothers a whole lot of money too. The Russo brothers are spending like they spending $300 million checks
But I think
out
that's the
here.
thing. The arms race was having a lot of creators get a lot of checks, and not
Yeah,
all
they
of them
were.
turned out. You know,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with creators getting checks.
I don't have a
Yeah,
problem with it either. But I think though, like some of those things weren't warranted. They were
yeah,
just throwing money to be
yeah,
throwing money
yeah,
because they
yeah.
needed content fill up, and you're gonna stop seeing that.
I think we need to go into the age of double A properties. Like I think video games, everybody's asked me. I was a game developer conference. People asked me what would sell. I said, make your double A game. Don't make AAA games. AAA games is a big jump from AA to AAA is big. Make
Uh-huh.
a triple I game, a triple indie game. Do not try to make a AAA game because you're not going to win against Marvel Rivals, Valorant, League of Legends, and you're definitely not going to win against the 5A games out there because we skipped 4A. That was what Call of Duty was 5 years ago. They're 5A games now. They just constantly live. Fortnite is a 5A game. You're not going to win against that. And God forbid, we're looking on the precipice of a 6A game called Grand Theft Auto 6. And when it comes, it may freeze out everything for about a year. So make your little double A game and make it great and make another one, then make another one. And you have a bunch of games. And I think that's going to be the same thing with Hollywood. Don't try to make Avatar. Let James Cameron make his Avatar
But I
movie.
think that is the kind of the motto now. And those sort of smaller movies, I think those are TV series.
So, smaller movie, but don't even make that. Your TV series should be damn the Cosby Show, one scene, one set, and the whole cast of characters. It should be Fresh Prince of Bel Air, three
Because they
scenes
talk
per movie.
it's been talk Ben Affleck did was it Matt Damon? It was one of them. Did a great discussion on those mid-level movies. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah, don't make them
They just don't
anymore.
make them
And
anymore.
they're wide. It's a wide open space. It's green
Yeah, because they're
space.
all on stream. Those are the
It is
movies that
blue
are on
ocean.
streaming
It is
service.
blue ocean.
Yeah. So it's like, would
I'm
you come
watching.
to a movie theater and spend $100, when on just a mid-level
Yeah,
movie?
yeah. That's true. We're gonna end it on that one right there. Make your $1 million movie and hope that it turns into a $2 million movie the next one you make. Instead of trying to make this $100 million movie. And you got all the tools for free. You got Unreal Engine. You got a lot of people that are looking for work and they need to build names for themselves. Make your stuff simple. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win against Disney.
No,
You know?
you just can't.
So
Can't.
with that, you can't. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in to Geek Beast. We said we were going to go 30 minutes this week. We went a whole entire
Y'all
hour.
talk a lot. Don't
You
don't
done?
don't don't
You
close your eyes
done?
to
You
me.
done? You done?
Maybe.
You done? Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in to Geek Beast. Shout out to the Funk for curating all our stories for us. Shout out to Mark and the Nerdy Entrepreneur for coming in. Thank you for telling Randy he ain't got the answers. Thank you, Mark. He
This
thinks
is
it's
my
just
new
me that
sign.
picks with him. It's not true. Rodney, as always, thank you for chiming in. We love it when you do chime in. And thank you for being our technical producer, technical director. And with that being said, we'll see y'all Wednesday where we have Binge Worthy as well. And on Binge Worthy, we're talking about solo leveling, season 1 and 2. So y'all come and talk. We're gonna come and talk about this overly hyped anime property that everybody's watching. Let's check it out. With that being said, y'all have a good weekend. And shout out to Digital Click too. They handle all our marketing materials. I forgot them. I always forget them by accident.
How you forget
Digital Click.
them?
I know it. I know it. I just talked to Crystal today, and
Get your
Olive
life
looked at
together.
me. Olive looked at me and was like, "Where's my money?
And he
Where's my money,
should.
Uncle Chuck?"
He
She hopped up on the
should.
screen.
He be like, "Mommy
She
out
hopped
here
up in the
soft, but
screen. I
I ain't."
heard, I heard, I heard Rodney start talking to her, and she was looking at us, grinning like, "Yeah, y'all better get my money. Y'all
He
better make sure
like,
my money's right."
he like, school ain't cheap, Uncle Chuck.
That's what she's like. That's what she's
These
like.
toys ain't gonna play.
They
These
they pay
toys
for
ain't gonna buy
themselves.
themselves. These
That's
toys
right.
ain't gonna.
That's
These
right.
games ain't gonna buy themselves.
Rodney's on the ground laughing right now. That's what she's like. So shout out to Digital Click. If y'all have any marketing needs whatsoever, or need a marketing strategy, or need artwork just for your properties, your overlays, or anything you do on your streaming systems, hit up Digital Click, please. They are one of the best service providers we've ever had and vendors, and they are honestly
Absolutely.
good people.
Absolutely.
Thank you all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.